So you know how I said last episode would be the last one on my backlog? I lied. That was day 9 and I need it to be day 10, otherwise my brain will explode. So, boom, going back into the hat of dreams. Literally just one fell out this time. Maybe I should just do it like that. Whichever one falls out is the one I pick. This is... Yes! Alright. This is idea number 22, which is the things I like in media. I say media specifically because I don't want to just say this is the stuff I like in film. I mean, I'll cover like what I like in film and video games and music, whatever. But there's a lot of stuff that I like specifically in media in general, and that is, I basically like things to be stylish or to have a very specific style to it. That doesn't necessarily mean that if things are similar, I'm gonna hate them. It just means that, like, stuff like Jet Set Radio, for example, has its own kind of style, and I like that a lot. But I'll actually talk about video games first since I'm talking about Jet Set Radio. Jet Set Radio is kind of like the closest kind of style in like art-wise that I like a lot. I am a slut for thick outlines. And that actually extends into like cartoons, video games, manga, anime, shit like that. If it has thick outlines, it is immediately my jam. I mean, it's not necessarily the same. In fact, actually, it's sketchy. But Megalobox is an anime that has very sketchy lines. And sometimes they're pretty thick because of that. But, like, they're very sketchy, and I fucking love that shit. But, stuff like that. Stuff like, Tetsuya Nomura's art style for video games is very much thick outlined based. At least it used to be. And that's wild to me. And I love that art style a lot. Ooh, I have to think about, like, what specific kind of video... Well, I mean, I like fighting games. I like fighting games a lot. I like video games that basically make me... Either I can sink a lot of time into, or are very quick, snappy. I'm like, hey, I can just play this real quick and I'll have a good-ass time. Which is why RPGs and fighting games are my two favorite genres. RPGs I can sink hours into and it can still have an amazing art style. I actually played Octopath Traveler, the demo, the other day. I like that a lot. That's 2D and 3D, but not like the kind of 2D and 3D-ish like Super Paper Mario. But I like the way that this game does it because it's still pixel art, and it's all like 3D pixel art and 2D pixel art, and I think that looks pretty sick. Even though it's kind of like fake 3D, because even though like your character is definitely 2D. Well, what it is that the designs and everything is 2D, but it works in a 3D plane, so you can still like walk up, walk down, work all around that, instead of like, ooh, it's top down. It's not top down, it's like a whole actual land, which is pretty fucking dope. But God, video games are fucking fun as hell. Fighting games, I should talk about what I like in fighting games. Dragon Ball Fighters, anime fighters, give me shit like that. Especially Guilty Gear. Guilty Gear has thick outlines, sick as fuck music, just, ooh, give me more of that jazz. Yeah, I'm gonna stop there, because I would go into a long as fuck video game tangent. Let's go into cartoons, anime, manga, stuff like that, because I kind of covered that. I said Megalobox. Samurai Champloo has the same kind of style, but that's kind of different, because A, it's samurai, and B, it has a lot more of a hip-hop influence. Sick as fuck. I love anime and cartoons that have that kind of that have hip-hop influences, or like black influence to it, basically, because it's sick as hell. Especially, like, I don't know what it is, but there's a lot of stuff like that isn't made by black people that is actually sick as hell. Again, I've mentioned Samurai Champloo, but Afro Samurai is made by a Japanese dude. I thought for the longest time that Afro Samurai was like a black dude's take on anime. No, it's a Japanese guy who drew this entire fucking goddamn amazing ass story with its crazy ass hip hop influences, and like, oh my God, I love Afro Samurai. It's so fucking good. But yeah, the same thing applies. Thick outlines. If your anime soundtrack has like the dirtiest fucking bass line ever, give me that shit. It's why I love Guilty Gear. It's why I love Gurren Lagann. There's a lot of music in Gurren Lagann that's just like guitar. Especially its opening. I love its opening. Gekon Shoujo Nozaki-kun has, like, well, Boys Club Nozaki-kun, whatever the fuck you want to call it, has, like, a sick guitar at the opening, and I fucking love that shit as well. I mean, I guess since I'm talking about music now, I should go into music, but just real quick, other anime that I like. Fullmetal Alchemist has a really good style that I like. Mob Psycho 100 and One Punch Man style. Especially animated. The animated style is fucking amazing. I love the bright colors. Video games, cartoons, like animated stuff, and movies. If you have neon colors, I'm fucking down for that shit, as long as it's not, like, gross neon colors. Like, give me Tron, but don't give me... what's a really, like... I've seen terrible neon, and I cannot tell you what it was. But, like, there is terrible neon that exists, and it's bad. But, like, give me, like, Spider-Man Into the Spideyverse, like, the new one that's coming out in December. Those trailers are, like, the exact kind of neon I love. Which is why I'm hyped as shit for that movie. My computer background is currently that. It's currently that trailer. Okay, but yeah, let's go into music. So my music taste, I don't know if this is a different thing. I think I have music taste in here. So I'm gonna cover, like, very basically. I don't really mind a lot of music. I like music a lot. I will say I will prefer, like, the sound of a band, like the sound of the music compared to the lyrics. I could deal with no lyrics and I'd be fine. A lot of my music is actually just, like, beats and shit. I love that shit. I like it to be chill, but I also like sexy guitar riffs. But I'll go into music taste another time because, oh boy, there's a lot of music that I like, and I just want to gush about music for like 10 minutes. What the fuck? Sorry, there's a wasp by my door. Not by my door, by my window. My window is closed, so it can't get in. But okay. It looks like there's something there that it wants. Alright, whatever. Movies. Okay. So, my kind of movie can be described by two directors. Guillermo del Toro and Edgar Wright. Now, technically those guys are very far apart. But, what I love about Edgar Wright shit, is mostly its editing. Ooh, shit, my battery's dying. My camera battery is dying. Ooh, I need to get this done real quick. But, I love the kind of style that is, hey, here's the editing. Like, I love the editing style of Edgar Wright stuff. It's very much, hey, this is shit to the music, which is why Baby Driver is my favorite movie of all goddamn time. That movie is all about, like, editing, how it's all edited together, how everything is on time. That shit is fucking wild, and I love it. There's also a lot of action matches in Edgar Wright movies, like, hey, someone puts down a drink, it cuts to, a full drink and someone picking it up. I love that shit. It's sick as hell. It's also why Scott Pilgrim is also one of my favorite movies that has a lot of, editing skill and technique that's put into it that I fucking love as well. Granted, he's not technically the editor of those movies, he is the director, but, you know, technically, as a director, you also get to say, hey, this is kind of how I want it to look when it's edited as well. But, you know, the editors can cover that real fucking nicely. So I guess technically I love the editors of Edgar Wright movies. But then Guillermo del Toro, I love, like, the mystical aspects to it, like the very fairy tale mystical aspects to his work. I watched Shape of Water the other day. I loved it. I think it's really good. I love the commentary on current events in America and the, like, events of the setting and the idea of, like, hey, if a mystical creature did exist in the real life, people would probably want to cut that shit up and find out what the fuck is up with it. Which isn't wrong. But I love Guillermo del Toro movies. I love Pan's Labyrinth. I love Shape of Water. I love, like, all of his shit that I've seen. I haven't seen all of his shit. I'm gonna do that, like, later on. I'm gonna sit down and watch all of them. But, his, like, something about his like, art. I'm gonna call it art. Something about his art. Like, something about the models and the suits and all of that shit that he creates. Because he puts, a lot of his money into those creations. like Shape of Water, he put like almost all of the money into creating the fish monster to look the exact way he wanted it to, which is amazing. There's an art book that I need to buy that's about like all of the stuff that Guillermo del Toro designs and like how he draws it, how other people have drawn it, like what the concepts are. I need that because I really want to see how that looks. That must be amazing because I just love that aspect. I think, like, you know how there's movies like Into the Woods or whatever? I feel like Guillermo del Toro could make an amazing fairy tale crossover movie, and make it dark and not make it feel like it's edgy. Cause fucking this is gonna be a call out to what's his name, Tim Burton. There we go. A lot of Tim Burton shit, and I'm calling out his Alice in Wonderland series in particular. Yes, I get it. I like shit that can be like dark like that, but that is dark for the sake of being dark for the sake of being edgy. It doesn't actually work. Also, just those movies are poorly written, so that might be why it doesn't work. But Guillermo del Toro movies, even if they're not like the most stylish in writing, because a lot of their writing really can be seen as pretty simple, but I love it. I love his movies, I love his designs, I love his writing, and the same with Edgar Wright. I love Edgar Wright's comedic timing. I love the editing and the editors that go into that work. That's fucking amazing to me. I mean, my top 3 favorite movies: Baby Driver, Pacific Rim, Scott Pilgrim. Edgar Wright, Guillermo del Toro, Edgar Wright. And then I feel like Shape of Water and Pan's Labyrinth are probably there somewhere as well. Before I end this, because again my battery's dying and I really need to end this like now, I will say something about Guillermo del Toro movies tell me to watch them in Spanish. I didn't watch Shape of Water in Spanish, but I watched Pan's Labyrinth in Spanish. And since then, because that was the first time I watched that movie, since then I cannot watch that in English. I have to hear it in Spanish, otherwise everything sounds wrong. But that might just be me. Also because I watched that movie first in a Spanish lesson, so that might be why. But since then I'm like, I can't hear this in English or in any other language, otherwise it sounds wrong. But yeah, that's the kind of style I'm into. I wonder what you guys are kind of into, because I have a lot of friends whose style I don't actually know. I don't know like what kind of TV shows they like. I don't know what kind of movies or video games they like. I don't know what makes them like go, this is something I'm immediately going to enjoy. I don't know. But it'd be interesting to learn. And while you're telling me, I hope that you all have a very nice day. I hope that you do everything that you need to do today. But I will see you guys tomorrow. And yeah, that's pretty much it. See ya.